Hi, I'm James.
And I'm Emme.
And welcome back to the Bestiary Monster Manual, A through Z. Today, we're looking at...
The Bullywug.
The Bullywug. Weird little frog dudes with a strange and interesting code of ethics.
Yeah, they have a strangely stratified society for a group of people who aren't particularly intelligent and who live in a swamp.
I think that these guys, to me, are the embodiment of an ego that is thinking more of itself than it should. Just in the artwork, you can see this sort of pose of, yeah, I'm gonna get you, look at my spear, look at my beady little eyes.
The art's so good because I agree, it's perfect, it's gross. These guys are just vaguely gross. They have this desire to take things and hoard things, but not the wherewithal to know how to take care of them or make for themselves. They keep themselves kind of dirty and slimy, and not just because of their habitat, but because they don't take care of themselves.
Yeah.
They're just gnarly, and you can tell this guy's gnarly.
They're just about smart enough to be arrogant and spiteful and selfish, but not much more than that. They've got self-awareness to the point of self-preservation, but they like shiny things, can't make anything for themselves, though.
And they have a hard time taking it for themselves as well. Your value in Bullywug society is very much defined by how many things you have and how many people you can push around, but there are strict rules against killing other people, so if you're going to do it, you have to do it secretively. You're not supposed to kill your rivals, but you can if you're sneaky, but you're not supposed to. And that goes into this sense of almost a little bit of cowardice that kind of becomes inherent in their nature. You're just as likely to be dragged in front of a group of these, of a leader of one of these, and have to placate them and bribe them as you are to actually have to fight them. They're more likely to capture you and mug you. Yeah.
I like the idea of these guys being like a short-term villain arc, maybe a sort of a brief interlude between chapters of a campaign where you find yourselves embroiled in the sort of the cutthroat politics of frog people society with this weird perversion of like courtly etiquette. They love giving themselves grand titles and gesticulating and gesturing in terms of, look at everything I have, aren't I the most impressive of frog people in all of the swamp? Jokes about a certain ogre aside, I think they stand to be a lot of fun, an interesting, slightly atypical collective foe.
And I think that's fun too, because then you're having to sit in the middle of this idiocy. Because while they're giving themselves these grand titles and these grand gestures and coming up with these grand plots and schemes, they're really not that bright. Yeah. So you're going to be sitting in the middle of this going,
what are they doing? And at the same time, probably having to hold your tongue. Because you don't want to risk offending them.
No, and they can fight. Again, it's not necessarily their first choice, but they can fight. They do have some punch. They can also work the swamp against you. Mm-hmm. They're very much a part of it. They're camouflaged. They can talk to other frogs and toads in the area and have them follow you, track you. They are perceptive. They are hunters. They could make your life tricky. Yeah,
and not many challenge rating quarter creatures get 2 attacks. Spear, bite. There's information in the manual about how as soon as you enter the swamp, they're probably going to know you're there because they communicate with other actual frogs and can communicate by ribbiting your presence across their territory. Yeah, they're interesting, fun, and actually not something to take lightly.
Definitely a little creepier than a goblin in that sense.
Still green, though.
Still very green.
So big news, we have a Patreon now. So if you've been enjoying the Adventurers Pack content, if you've been enjoying the Bestiary, you can find a way to actively support us in the description below, and we would obviously love it if you did that. Otherwise, you can like and subscribe. If you'd like to see more of the Bestiary, you can find it here. If you want to see more of Adventurous Pack content, you can find it here. Leave us a comment, hit the bell to be notified of when we release new videos, and join us next week when we start talking about the Cambion. We're getting demonic now, guys.